In the, let's see, we're in Mandan in the Ed Bosch Freilich meeting room. This will be the Bismarck-Mandan Policy Board meeting, but first, before we start, we'll have Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
All right, if we can call the meeting to order by calling roll, please.
Mayor Berglund.
Here.
Commissioner Zachmeyer. Mayor Freilich.
Here.
Commissioner Schwab.
Here.
And Chair Schmitz.
Here. First item on our agenda is public comment. In public comment, it would be restricted to the current agenda or a prior policy board agenda, excluding the public hearings. Is there anyone who wishes to speak? A second call for public comment. Third and final call for public comment. Public comment period is now closed. Okay.
In 90 minutes, I get a ticket.
Oh, well, we'll try to move on. Next item is minutes. Are there any changes to the minutes from July 15th? Or if not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call roll.
Mayor Berglund.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
And Chair Schmitz.
Yes. Next, item 5, the 2025 through 2028 TIP amendments. Stephen.
Thank you, Chair. Exhibits A and B in your packet provide details about two proposed amendments to our current 25 through 28 Transportation Improvement Program. So the first amendment is Exhibit A in your packet. It increases the cost estimates associated with Phase 3 of the fiscal year 25 Mandan Memorial Highway Reconstruction Project as provided to us by NDDOT. And the second amendment, Exhibit B, adds a new project to the program in 25 for the preliminary engineering for a future fiscal year 29 project planned for drainage improvements at Mandan's 1806 6th Avenue Railroad Underpass. So both these projects are being advertised for the required 15-day public comment period, and a public hearing will be held for these at 10 a.m. in the Blackstead Room of the City County Building in Bismarck on August 20th. Since we were not able to get them advertised in time to hold the public hearing at yesterday's TAC meeting. So today we would be requesting the board approve the amendments conditionally based on no substantive comments being received during the remainder of the comment period. And TAC did recommend approval conditionally, as I stated yesterday. Are there any questions on these?
Any questions for Stephen? Members, what are your wishes with regard to the request?
Make the motion to approve.
Conditionally?
Conditionally.
I would second that.
Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call roll.
Mayor Berglund.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab.
Yes.
And Chair Schmitz.
Yes. Next, item 6 is the 2025 to 2028 TIP amendment. Exhibit C. Go ahead, Stephen.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, staying on the same topic, but had to treat them as separate items. Exhibit C in your packet provides details about another proposed amendment. This adds a new project to fiscal year 25 for microsurfacing on County Road 139A in Morton County, from 175 feet west of Crown Butte Lake Trail, about 6 miles east to 24th Avenue on the outskirts of Mandan. The project has 2 PCN numbers and will draw on 2 federal funding sources, one to account for the urban portion of the project and one to account for the rural portion. So we received word of this amendment several days after the first 2 in your packet, but NDDOT expressed the same need to get this approved in August to expedite the projects moving forward for funding. So we are, again, advertising the amendment for the required 15-day public comment period, and the public hearing will be held at 10 a.m. in the Blackstead Room in Bismarck on August 25th. So we are again requesting conditional approval of this amendment based on no substantial comments being received, and TAC recommended approval yesterday. Any questions?
Any questions? What are your wishes, policy board members?
I'll make a motion for conditional approval.
Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call roll.
Mayor Berglund,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich,
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab,
Yes.
and Chair Schmitz.
Yes. Next, item 6 is the 2026 to 2027 Unified Planning Work Program. Kim?
Thank you, Mayor Schmitz. Can everybody hear me all right?
Move a little closer to the mic.
All right, try this. How am I coming in now?
I'm good, but Commissioner Schwab, can you hear her?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to speak very clearly. Today, I'll be bringing you the final 2026-2027 UPWP for your consideration for final adoption by resolution. We find that in our packet as Exhibit D on page 17, so I will share screen at this time. There you go. This is the 2-year work program and budget for the Bismarck-Mandan MPO, and the studies that are contained in this were thoroughly vetted through the jurisdictions and then through TAC and Policy Board. We first introduced and discussed these studies at the May meetings of the boards, and then the draft studies and the budget details were presented in the draft UPWP in July. At that meeting in July, the Policy Board did approve the draft UPWP to be forwarded to North Dakota DOT, FTA, and Federal Highway for their 30-day review period. Concluding that 30-day review period, we received no comments or additional corrections or additions from FTA or Federal Highway. However, we did see 2 comments that were received from North Dakota DOT, very minor in nature. Their comments were to combine North Dakota PL funds and FTA funds into one total for federal CPG. And I will show you those comments actually have been changed in the document, and I provided you all handouts with those changes highlighted on your sheets. But for our viewing public, those at home, I'll just jump to those pages here. There you go. The changes were made in the funding source table. Right now, you can see that there is a federal CPG for 2026 in a total of amount of $682,993 and change, comprising 85.4% of the federal funds. That was changed as the previous document had listed that as North Dakota PL funds and then FTA funds. So at North Dakota DOT's request, we just combined those. None of the funding totals have changed, just the source to indicate one source. And then in the 2027 table on the following page, the same combination was included so that we are listing our 2027 federal funds as federal CPG in a total amount of $695,723. Again, none of the totals for that year change, just the way that they are are listed. In addition, on this 2027 funding source table, the 2025 redistribution that you are seeing on your handout and here on the screen previously indicated that it was a 2024 redistribution, so that needed to be updated to accurately represent that it would be 2025. So those are the only changes to the UPWP document since you've seen it and approved it in July. Today, I really don't want to belabor the content of the document, but I would be happy to stand for any questions and provide any answers that you might be looking for. Otherwise, staff would be looking for a motion to approve by resolution of adoption, which TAC did recommend yesterday, considering the two changes that were indicated by North Dakota DOT. And in addition, if the policy board does approve the UPWP document today, the self-certification on page 9 of this document would be updated with a current dated self-certification document. It still certifies the same 10 requirements as the document shown in this draft. It would just be updated with the approved document from May of 2025. Questions?
Any questions? Go ahead, Commissioner.
Can you explain on it's not numbered, question 5, the executive director's authorized action? I don't agree with that.
I'm sorry, on page 5 of the document? No. Let me just try to see what we're looking at here.
It's on the resolution of adoption, I believe, Kim.
Okay.
Page 19.
No.
Well, yeah.
Right here?
Same. It's your page number. You know, the page.
Okay.
It's the same thing, I believe.
And number 5, where it reads the executive director. No, thank you for the question, Commissioner Schwab, and if I could explain that for just a moment. What that is referring to is administrative modifications to the UPWP, only to the UPWP. So there are processes that are outlined in this document to provide for amendments to the document, and they do invoke thresholds for amendments to occur. If changes have a monetary amount that is below a given threshold, which is usually 10% of the federal funding that is indicated in the document for that year, if there would be any project changes or additions, we can orchestrate that through an administrative modification without having going through a full-blown amendment. And that's all detailed in this document. So what number 5 is referring to is, in the case, if the criteria is met for an administrative modification, there is no need to bring that before the policy board for their approval. According to the document, the administrative modification is performed, and then we bring that information to the policy board, North Dakota DOT, Federal Highway, and FTA for informational purposes. Amendments are a completely different story. That involves a process by which we take everything to the TAC and policy board. Those are usually for more significant changes to the UPWP document. Does that make sense? Would you like me to go to the amendment page in the document, and that might explain it better?
I'm not convinced this is a good idea. With due respect, I have seen too many times where things are shuffled off, and the bureaucrats and departments, and nothing gets done, and it doesn't get done right, and then it just gets bigger and bigger. I can't support it.
Well,
I've seen it both in the city, the county, and now I see it here.
So I think we have to be careful that we as a board are serving as a board and not a micromanagement.
What's that?
And we can't be micromanaging. So we hire competent people to perform duties, and that's what we do as a board. We're a board, more of a board of directors giving policy and guidance. If they violate the policy, we have opportunity to take action at that point in time.
I understand what you're saying. I don't like micromanaging either. But you still have to, I personally still have to manage my portfolios. And I don't like this. It just doesn't coincide with the type of management that it's no disrespect to anybody, but I can't support it.
Just for further clarification, I did advance the document to the UPWP amendment guidance that is outlined within the document. This is nothing new this year. This is the same UPWP amendment / administrative modification guidance that has been in previous documents. And I will let you know that as allowed by the 2 CFR 200.308 C4 Federal Code of Regulations, FHWA and FTA may establish a cost threshold for UPWP amendments, and under adoption of this UPWP and consistent with the MPO's historic practices, no amendment will be required if there is a cost change of 10% of the annual UPWP budget or less than 10% of the annual UPW budget. This applies to changes in project costs if funds are transferred within a task or if funds are transferred between tasks. So it's very, very specific. This is very prescriptive as far as when amendments are required and when administrative modifications can be
Does it
pursued.
say you have to?
If any changes,
Say if you have to.
if they're over 10% of the annual budget,
Still
absolutely.
can't support it.
Okay, well,
You move on. I mean, it's no use for you and me go back and forth.
so I will ask, what are the wishes of the policy board? Oh, did we have a motion in a second?
No, we did not.
We did not, right? I didn't think so.
I'm quite satisfied, and I will make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Do you have any further discussion? I note Commissioner Schwab's disagreement, and I think it's on the record, so. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call roll.
Mayor Berglund,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich,
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab,
No,
and Chair Schmitz.
Yes. Next item 8 is the Bismarck-Mandan MPO public policy or public comment policy, which is Exhibit E in our packet. Do you want to go through that at all, Kim? I mean, I think I attempted to cover it basically as we did our.
Well, I was going
opening,
to
but-
share the document. Thank you very much, Mayor Schmitz. I was going to share the document, but my notes say that I'm supposed to have that document on page 46, and it's not there. So I'm not really sure. I'm in my online version, I'm jumping from the UPWP to the staff report for a study, and I seem to be missing that policy. Why don't we go ahead and I can just give you an overview of the policy.
I think that's adequate.
All right. So the public comment policy was developed at the request of this policy board in response to a change in the North Dakota Century Code regarding the provisions of public comment opportunities at regular meetings of certain political subdivisions. So this policy outlines the reason for the policy. It provides the policy statement. It does provide the scope of the policy and the North Dakota Century Code definition by which the policy is a requirement of the MPO. It does state in North Dakota Century Code under the definition of public entity, definition C, organization or agency supported in whole or in part by public funds or expending public funds are expected to adhere to this public comment provision in the North Dakota Century Code. And of course, that accurately describes the MPO. So, as part of the North Dakota Century Code provisions, we are to establish a policy for public comment. This policy also provides the procedures for implementing the policy and its enforcement. So, probably what I really need to go into here for you is the procedures of the policy. Pretty straightforward. It will be the first item that is non-procedural on each of our agendas for the TAC, Policy Board, and the Bismarck-Mandan MPO Bike Ped Subcommittee. The whole idea is to provide public comments and any individual wishing to do so on a non-public hearing item on the current agenda or the previous month's agenda may do so. They do need to sign in a speaker's sign-in sheet, which we will always have up at the podium. In addition, at future meetings, if this policy is adopted, we will not only have it on our website for the public to view, but we will have copies of the policy at each meeting so the public is aware of their responsibility and obligations. Each individual that wants to speak will be allotted up to 5 minutes to speak. The time may be extended at the discretion of the chair. The individual will be notified when the time has expired. An individual may not yield their time to another individual. The meeting time dedicated to the public comment agenda item will be limited to 30 minutes total time, regardless of how many individuals have signed the speaker sheet and wish to speak. The initial 30 minutes may be extended at the discretion of the chair, but each speaker will continue to be limited to only 5 minutes to speak. All comments must address an item of either the current agenda or the agenda of one preceding meeting. Comments must pertain to the public entity holding the meeting. So somebody can't come to our policy board meeting and provide public comments about something that doesn't involve MPO activities or programs. And comments may not be defamatory, abusive, or unlawful. They may not include information that's exempt or confidential under North Dakota Open Records Law, and they may not interfere with the orderly conduct of the meeting. Should you, as a policy board, approve this policy, this will be signed into effect. You did notice that we opened today's meeting with the public comment opportunity. That is because although we haven't adopted a policy formally, the North Dakota Century Code did indicate that the law became effective August 1. And so we included that on our agenda to be compliant with North Dakota Century Code. Any questions that you might have for me?
Any comments, questions? What are the wishes of the policy board?
Well, if I could, Mayor.
Yep.
When the city of Lincoln adopted their policy, we removed the 30-minute limitation to allow for others, regardless of how many people, still need to have their voices heard. So I don't know if that's something that
So what we put in at the discretion of the chair, we can always extend it. So I can tell you that at the City of Bismarck Commission meetings, if we have a lot of people who have it and they want to speak, we're not going to limit it to 30 minutes unless it's kind of repetitive, the same comment time after time. There's the chairs. I mean, I don't know if anybody even had to chair the meeting other than me. I don't see any of us trying to limit that other than to try to be cordial.
That's good to hear.
And I don't expect it to be a real issue for this meeting anyway. Maybe it should be.
Well, I would make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call roll.
Mayor Berglund,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich,
Yes.
Commissioner Schwab,
Yes.
and Chair Schmitz.
Yes. Next, item 9, the 2025 Safety Policy Study. Is Luke online?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Chair Schmitz, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
All right, great. I'll provide a quick update here on the safety policy study. I want to give a big thank you to your local technical staff for providing feedbacks on our high injury network data. We are currently working on refining a few memos and findings that we discussed at our June steering committee meeting. We sent recently a technical memo to local technical staff and the steering committee regarding a key component of the safety policy study, which includes a leadership commitment and goal setting. In specifically, that's related to setting a Vision Zero goal for the region, and that would be, the ultimate goal is to eliminate severe crashes in the Bismarck-Mandan region, and that includes fatalities and life-changing or incapacitating injuries on your regional roads. With that, in that memo, we described two options for setting that goal of Vision Zero. The first is to set a target date for achieving zero, and the second option is a % reduction of severe crashes by a specific date. And the steering committee is looking more closely at that second option of identifying a % reduction in severe crashes by 2050 to align with the MTP, and we'll be discussing that more at our September steering committee meeting. So there'll be more to come on that. I do want to provide the heads up here that goal includes a leadership commitment, and that would be included in a formal action of the safety policy study before the end of the year. For example, through resolution is one way to do that. We are preparing for our next steering committee meeting. There will be a lot of great coordination and hands-on involvement at that meeting. We are going to discuss our public engagement summary to date. We met with a few more focus groups, just to update this group about those meetings. We met with the off-highway vehicle state coordinator at North Dakota, the state of North Dakota, the OHV coordinator. We also met with a group from the North Dakota Motor Carriers Association, some of the local freight providers. And then we are continuing to coordinate with ABATE, which is a nonprofit motorcycle organization. We haven't locked down a date with them yet, but we are working on that. We are moving forward with the deep dive analysis of the high injury network. As a reminder, that is the portions of your streets that have the highest density of severe crashes. So we're diving in to those locations and identifying some characteristics associated with those roadways and intersections that may include configuration or number of lanes, traffic control, traffic volume, and then adjacent land use as well will be included in that. And the idea is to identify some of those key characteristics that are sticking out as creating dangerous situations or more severe crashes. And then that will be used to prioritize potential safety projects in the future, but also to identify other or locations of like kind across the region. So that we're working on that right now. And then we will be using the results of our crash trend summary, which I presented to you all a few months ago, and then that high injury network analysis. We'll be using the results of that to put together a toolkit of strategies, both engineering countermeasures, things that you could build, infrastructure, as well as non-engineering countermeasures, things related to, for example, policy, education, enforcement, things of that nature. I think that is the update, and I'd be happy to take any questions or have Director Ripple clarify anything.
Are there any questions? Thank you, Luke.
Thank you. Thank you all.
No. sorry. Next item is item 10, the 2025 ITS RA update, and is, I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong, Sharad?
Sherry Jad, I'm sorry, was not available to be with us this
Okay.
afternoon, so thank you, Chair Schmitz. I'll
Okay.
go ahead and take the update for him. There, I'm coming in. Okay. The ITS regional architecture update includes a system inventory, which has been undergoing an ongoing update. We met with our small stakeholders groups early in March and April, early May timeframe, and the information that we gathered from them is what has been used now to create this systems inventory update. There is a table that was included in your packet. It is Exhibit G on page 51. It's a pretty lengthy table, and it does indicate the different systems that are involved and the stakeholders for each of the elements within the system. Most of those have been identified. There are just a few that are remaining that are shown in the table. While most of our small group stakeholders meetings were held early, we do have a couple more that we will be catching up on again. We will be scheduling a small group meeting with our communications/IT personnel for the region, and then we will resume with finalizing the inventory so that the service packages and functional requirements can be reviewed by about the October timeframe. In addition, those service packages will be aligned with MPO planning goals and objectives as have been outlined in the Arrive 2050 MTP. So the update to the ITS is on budget, and it is on schedule for a December 2025 completion. Any questions regarding the ITS regional architecture or the update?
Any questions for Kim?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Item 11, the 2025 monitoring program or report update. Stephen.
Thank you, Chair. Just a really quick update for you guys today. The MPO and its consultant are continuing to work on the draft monitoring report document. So just a lot of the work is upcoming through August, September, October, and we remain on track to complete the project by the end of the year, but not much of substance to report this month. Any questions?
Doesn't look like it. Thank you. Next is the Fringe Area Road Master Plan update. Stephen.
Again, very quickly for you guys, the deadline, we sent out a request for proposals for the Fringe Area Road Master Plan update. The deadline for this was August 8th, and we received 4 proposals on the project, which we are excited about. The proposing firms for this project were KLJ, SRF, HDR, and Bolton and Mank. So the selection committee for this will be conducting interviews with proposing consultants in early September, and we expect to bring the top-ranked consultant back to the boards at your September meetings. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Next, item 13, TIP administrative modifications. Stephen.
Thank you, Chair. Give me just one moment. I will share a screen with you. Let me see. Okay. So this is Exhibit I in your packets. So this month we processed 12 administrative modifications to the current TIP. So this is because NDDOT contacted us and requested we move these projects, 6 from fiscal year 27 and 6 from fiscal year 26, into the current funding year in case additional 25 funds come available because of the August redistribution that takes place at the end of the federal fiscal year. So basically this is a DOT's way of preparing for in case there's extra federal dollars available for some of these projects that are ready to go. They need to be in the TIP in the current year in order for that to be possible. So most of these projects, if not all of them, will likely be moved back to fiscal year 26 and 27 in the near future. And in fact, they're still going to be included in your draft TIP next month for 26 through 29. But again, this is a preemptive move just in case. The projects include 2 Bismarck safety projects, a widening project on Washington Street, an urban grants project in downtown Bismarck, 4 Bismarck microsurfacing projects, and 3 concrete pavement repair projects in Bismarck, and then 1 mill and overlay project in Mandan. And the details are in the packet for those. Are there any questions?
There's no questions, it looks like. And there's no action at this point.
No. Just information for you guys.
Item 14, any other business?
I have one item as
Go ahead.
myself. So just wanted to give the board an update. We solicited for the fiscal year 26 recreational trails program earlier this year and received 2 applications, one for a Cottonwoods Park Trail rehab in Bismarck and one for a 66th Street Southeast Pathway extension in Lincoln. So the North Dakota Parks and Recreation District has announced their awards for the RTP program for next year. 5 out of the 20 applications they received statewide were funded, including the City of Lincoln's project. So we're very excited for Lincoln, and that project will be included in our draft tip next month.
Any other business? Kim?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to share a little information on behalf of North Dakota DOT. They announced just the other day that they are seeking public comment on their 2026-2029 state transportation improvement program. So they do have a public comment period that is open from August 15th to September 15th, 2025. And if anybody is interested in taking a look at the draft STIP, it is located online at dot.nd.gov, and you can click on construction and planning, and then transportation plans and programs. Take a look at their STIP and provide any comments that you might desire. Thank you.
And thank you, Kim, for promoting that.
Any other business? Hearing none, we're adjourned.